Hello everyone, today I'm going to explain 5 technical questions from the CCNA exam. Let's look at the first question. The first question is about route matching. There's also a diagram, and it asks us which of the configuration command A, B, C, or D sets of a floating static route. This route can provide backup for the primary route. Now, let's look at option A. Option A has an administrative distance specified after it, and this administrative distance is the administrative distance is 254. So this means the administrative distance has been increased. Normally, for example, the administrative distance for static routes here, you see there are 3 static routes according to Cisco's definition. The administrative distance for static route is 1. So for this R54, that's a floating static route, which means it will only take effect after the primary route fails, right? Now, why are the other configurations incorrect? These configurations don't have an administrative distance added at the end. Even though they're all written as static routes, none of them have an administrative distance specified. If the prefixes are the same, and the destination addresses are the same, then it will cause conflicts. So the only correct answer is A. Let's look at the correct answer. Choose A. Alright, question 2. The second question is about IPv6 static routes, and this one is also very simple. Let's look at this diagram. The diagram shows 3 routers. What it means is that we have this router here in Auckland, and this router here in Vincent. We need to configure this on both of these routers. The static route is to allow both of them to access the New York router's loopback interface, loopback 2. To access this interface, we just need to directly write the static route. However, this is a point-to-point link here. The characteristic of a point-to-point P2P link is that I can just send the data directly to this interface because the only endpoint is you, right? P2P links don't need a next hop. You don't need that, right? I can just specify the outgoing interface directly. And the outgoing interface here is my S0 to 0, -0 interface, right? And it's the same on both sides. So when we write a static route, we just use IPv6 route. And no matter where we're going, we just use the 0 to 0 interface. So the correct answer to this question is A. Let's check the correct answer. It's A. Alright, this question is about the OSPF process. Question 3. OSPF process list. Do you want the question mean? It's asking us about configuring the process. If there isn't a loopback interface, meaning when we're configuring and there's no such interface, and if we have a manually configure or set the router ID, what significant effect will that actually have? The profound effect is that among all the interfaces that are currently in the up state, meaning they are both physically up and the protocol is also up, and the operation of the IP address with the absolute highest numerical value among those specific physical interface addresses will be automatically selected and subsequently used. It will become the router ID. It is copied as the router ID, right? It's not that this address is directly used. Actually, it means the same thing, whether it's used or copied, it's essentially the same. But this router ID, it's not an address, it's just a name. It's just a name, that's all. So for this question, the correct answer is D. Let's look at the correct answer is D. Alright, question 4. Question 4 is again about route matching. Recently, we've often reached this route matching. Section many questions are about route matching. Now, this diagram is a bit unclear, but let's look at what it means. It shows arriving at this location. What is the metric to reach this subnet? To reach this subnet, let's see there are only two matches here, which are these two OIA OSPF inter-area routes. As for these two routes, we choose this one. The one with the longest network prefix is this 32-bit one. Actually, it's this 28-bit one, the 28-bit one. This subnet is well, it's a 192.168.1032. This is a network address, and this network address includes 33. It includes 33, so our correct answer is this one. That was a surprise. Its metric is 193. So, in other words, the correct answer is E193. All right, question 5. Question 5. Question 5. This diagram isn't very clear either. It says to log in to a host using SSH. Actually, these questions are all quite misleading at first. It just says to log in to this host, and then there's a surprise. What is the surprise? It's this. Actually, the correct answer is this one, option A, because it can match this route. Let me see which route it is. A route with a 28-bit mask. (192.168.0.7). Actually, this route, the final EIGRP route, there's only this one. The way this route is written is unclear. It says 10.0.1.0 -218. So this route, our destination is 10.0.1.15. This 28-bit route also includes the destination address, so that's why it matches. 192.168.0.7. So the correct answer is A. Option A, submit. If you want to learn Cisco technologies or get Cisco question banks, send me a private message. You can comment below for technical discussions.